Honestly, I don't know what that was. What is up, guys? Shawn here, and today's gonna be a little bit different because today we're gonna talk about how I create my floating or levitating product photos. Let's go.
You must find them for me and destroy them.
So before we get started, I do want to mention that all the gear that I use will be available in the links below if you choose to purchase from them. It will help support this YouTube channel, and your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks. So lately, I've been getting asked a bunch of questions on how I create levitating or floating product photos. So I thought it would be a good idea, instead of me addressing each and every one of those people individually, for me just to create a video about it. So the funny thing is, you really don't need any crazy gear to create these photographs. Today I'm gonna show you exactly how I create them. So you're gonna need three things. The first thing you're gonna need is a product. You can use anything from headphones to a lens, even a shoe. And the second thing you're gonna need is a camera. And you don't need anything crazy, you can even do this on your phone. And the third thing that you're gonna need, and this is where the entire image comes together, is my weapon of choice when it comes to photo manipulation, Photoshop. In this mini tutorial, I'm gonna show you how I made these headphones levitate. I know that I shot this with a green screen in the background, but that was pure coincidence, and it actually hurt the way this photo came out because the green was kind of spilling on the white of the product. The first thing that I do when I'm setting up a photograph like this is I set the image up on kind of an angle, and I have to have it hanging on something. And in this case, I had a massive bottle of hand sanitizer next to me, so that's what I used. And once I have it kind of slanted in a certain way that I feel good with, I'm ready to take my picture. Hand sanitizer. Once I think it looks good, I stand back and take the picture. And honestly, you don't even need a tripod for this. I just stood at an angle that I thought would look good if the product was floating. This is the angle that it would be floating in. So once you take the picture, the next step is obviously to upload the picture to your computer and dump the image into Photoshop. This is where the entire image comes together. Now, the first thing I did when I started to edit this picture was get rid of some of that green screen because honestly, it was just a pain to look at. Once I moved on from that, the tool of choice that I use to cut an image out of its background is the pen tool. I know that there's the magic wand tool and there's the background eraser tool. I just think the most precise method of extracting a subject out of its background is the pen tool. Now, this also depends on the subject, but in this case, the pen tool is perfect. If you don't use the pen tool often, it is going to take a little bit to get used to, but once you start using it more and more, you're gonna get more comfortable with using it. And there is no fast way to select your subject using the pen tool. It is a tedious task, so I sped it up a little bit for the sake of this tutorial. Once the subject is completely outlined, I right-click it and click Make Selection. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is create a new layer and drop that below the subject layer. Go back to your headphone layer, invert the selection, and delete everything that's outside of the subject. Now go back down to the previous layer that you created and make it any color you want. I personally like using white or black. In this case, we're gonna use white. After you do that, this is where you can get into the fine detail of selecting your subject. You can erase anything else that's left. I even erased the wire from the headphones. Next, I scale the subject and position in a way that I think will look cool if it was floating. And last, I will make the shadow. Now, to create the shadow, it's simple. You select your brush tool, make sure that your color is black, and draw a little line at the bottom of your photo. Once you do that, you're gonna go up to filter and add a Gaussian blur to it. Now, the more blurry you choose to make it, the further up the image should be, and the less blurry you make it, that means that it's a little closer to the ground. This is obviously personal preference. Something else that I like to do is play around with the opacity of the shadow layer because I might not like how harsh the shadow looks. And once you're comfortable with what you did with the shadow, that's all there is to it. I'd recommend that you guys experiment with this technique. There really is no right or wrong way to do this. Everybody uses the tools in Photoshop their own way. This is just the way that I found the most comfortable for me. Do you have your own technique that you use when you're extracting a subject from the background? Drop a comment below and let us know. Hopefully you guys found this useful, and I just added a new weapon to your arsenal of photographs that you can pitch to your clients so that you can make more money. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button. And if you loved it, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.